Hello, welcome back to my channel where I'm sharing stories and jokes and funny facts from my imaginary world called Chutasia. And if you're new, what is Chutasia? What's the lowdown on this imaginary world? So this is my stuffed toy hedgehog Chutney, who I bought when I was 9 years old. And for the past 20 years, I've been making the imaginary world that, well, imaginary, that's a bit rude, isn't it? I have been learning from Chutney about the world that she comes from, which is called Chutasia. And that's what I've been sharing on my channel. So today what I want to do is share some of the new things that I've learned about Chutasia from Chutney recently. This video is part of a sort of new format that I'm trying, which is a bit more informal, but also perhaps a bit more authentic, where the way that I work, if you want to call it work, is that I play with Chutney, I talk to Chutney, and I get sort of just ideas or telepathic messages from Chutney telling me about her life, about the world that she's from, and then I write them in my phone. And I guess the next step is, and then I tell them on YouTube. So this isn't particularly structured, but if you're ready for some chaos, I'll just tell you some of the notes on my phone about some of the things we've learned about Chutasia recently. So in Chutasia, when you're telling the time, you wouldn't say something like, it's 3:15. Instead of past, you say pasta. So you say, it's 3:15, 2:15, 3:15, 4:15 in the morning. All right. I've got a note here about something called the imminent giant hogweed invasion. And I think that this is a tactic of control by the Chutasian government, which is kind of also the Chutasian royals. So I don't think Chutney's been involved in this, but maybe her family to some degree. So the giant hogweed invasion is a fabricated threat. Or at least according to Chutney, it's a fabricated threat. Perhaps it's very real. So it's a fabricated threat by leaders to control the population. I've written, I'm not totally sure yet on which island this mostly relates to or in what time period, but I do know it's a thing. Where basically locals got very worried about the imminent giant hogweed invasion because, you know, it was imminent and they didn't want to be invaded by giant hogweed. And so out of sort of superstitious, they just didn't know what to do. They were helpless. So they decided to put some gravy granules into the river near their village. And the hogweed invasion never happened. And so they naturally and logically concluded that it must have been the gravy granules that protected them from the giant hogweed, right? It couldn't have been a made-up threat. I don't know why I'm looking at Chutney. I don't think she was involved in this. You're not. I don't think she's very malicious. Chutney's very innocent. So yeah, because it's apparently worked, there was no invasion. They felt that they had to continually put the gravy granules in the river to keep the hogweed away. And that now it's a tradition to maintain the safety of the island. So whichever island this is on, they have a river of literal gravy. So that's lovely. I've got a note here. This one's quite funny. Is that when you are describing your family members, you know, you might have your great-great-granddad or your great-uncle. In Chutasian sort of casual speech, you wouldn't say your great-grandmother, you'd say your grape-grandmother. Or your grape-great-grand... Oh, no, I can't even do it. Your grape-grandfather. And I think that's just funny. Chutney should do her... Oh, she should do her face. Yeah, Chutney, as if. Yeah, Chutney. Who told you that joke? Was it your great-great-grandfather? All right. I've also got a note here. If you've watched, I did a video about, I think it was about the Countess who smells of soup or something. And as part of that, I talked about the de Pomme and the de Terre families, and they've got a kind of rivalry. They're two rivaling families linked to the island of... Oh no, I'll write on the screen which island it is. It's the one that has all the sort of culinary stuff. Which one's that? Oh no, I can't remember. So yeah, I've got a note here that at some point the sort of head of the Dupont family gives a sort of motivational speech. Oh, I'm sorry that my phone looks so disgusting. I can't help it. You know, if anyone has ever had a plastic case, you understand that it gets discolored and you cannot fix it. So other than buying a new one, perhaps I should buy a new one. Anyway, okay, so yeah, the Dupont family, the head of the Dupont family, most senior member of the Dupont family, is giving a motivational speech about how they will, I don't know, overcome their rivals, the Deters, in the cooking competition or something that's upcoming. It's normally something a bit ridiculous. It's not any kind of war or anything. It's normally it's normally a bit of a silly rivalry. And apparently Dupont says, "We'll fight them on the peaches," instead of "we'll fight them on the beaches," as in Winston Churchill. Chutney said, "We'll fight them on the peaches." It's not that funny. Anyway, well, I wrote it down. I think we have time for one more. I've got here that there is an illness in Chutasia, which, goodness, you'd have to be careful not to catch. The name of the illness is Pizzacold, and apparently it's a type of cold that you can catch from eating pizza. Oh my goodness, you can get ill from eating pizza? Pizzacold. I don't know what the symptoms are. What do you think of the symptoms are? Well, so what's on pizza? It's cheese, tomato, some toppings. Oh, I'm getting the idea. Maybe it's some sort of wart disease, because then it's like you have toppings on you. Ooh, Pizzacold. So it might be a runny nose, a cough, and some sort of warts. Do you agree, Chutney? Something like that? Chutney's a bit quiet when we film. Normally when I play with her, she's very talkative. Normally speaking a lot. I think she's a bit shy. Would you like Chutney to talk more in these videos? Let me know. Anyway, all right, I think that's everything for today. I'll be back again another time to tell you more chaotic things from my mobile phone. All right, bye-bye.